Good morning.
Happy Thanksgiving!
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. My favorite day of the year.
Yes, and everyone.
Eating time, yes, in full effect. Millie, I know you've been cooking all night. Thank you for sharing the pictures on social media. I could just drool and watch.
It's my favorite holiday. How about yours?
I love. I feel like Thanksgiving kicks off the holidays for me. So from now to the end of the year, I'm ecstatic. This is my favorite season.
Well, and thank you for giving me those cake ideas.
And I did good this time because normally I am the person you go to if you want to make something unhealthy. But I shared healthy tips. I tried.
She shared a yellow cake box mix
Yeah. Cheap.
with carrots. So that's a
Put a
carrot
little carrot in
cake.
there.
I have to try that. I never thought about doing it that way because I always make it from scratch, but it's so much more involved. So I'm definitely gonna try that.
Even if it's the box, I always have to add something just to make it my own. But
Oh gosh.
also, when you have hundreds and hundreds of carrots, you have to find somewhere to put them.
Yes. I'm thinking coconut. That
I like that. I actually think I like that better than the carrots.
I'll let you know. I'll post pictures. So I hope everyone is enjoying Thanksgiving. We want to be consistent and not cancel our trainings even in Thanksgiving.
Friendsgiving.
Yes, and the topic today is going to be actually consistency, motivation, and drive. Yes.
All key things that you need if you're going to succeed in business. And, what better time to talk about it than as we're kicking off the unofficial launch to the holiday season. I think officially it's like October for Halloween, but for me, it's Thanksgiving.
Yes, we have been covering a lot of holiday trainings, and I hope that you are just crunching in the last time for sales, for customers, events, reaching out to new customers, or maybe the ones who did not get to purchase from you this time. Maybe they lost your contact, your phone number. I just love to reconnect. And just by sending them a little message, Happy Thanksgiving. I thought about you. How are you doing? And just to say hello, how many contacts, how many people you can just reach out with a love message, letting them know that you care. So,
or if you're like me, if social media is your thing, don't neglect your social media channels because a lot of us are already connected. It's a great way to kind of store all your contacts. I feel like nowadays the Facebook and Instagram is the modern Rolodex. So you can connect with those people that you haven't been in touch with for a while through your social media channels. You can, send a little message, or you can share a post on your feed and encourage people to comment or reply, play some games in your groups or on your page. So it's a great way to connect with people. And remember, this time of year, not everyone is getting together. A lot of, I always say every year, we have to be mindful of the people, maybe they're seniors or they live alone, or, for whatever reason, reach out to people because you never know. Sometimes this season is actually harder for, different people. So it's a great time to show some love.
That's exactly what I am thinking. And Georgiana, the topic today is all about consistency. It's all about motivation, and it's all about drive. I just love those three words. So what can you share that how do you combine those three powerful words that make our business and make our life consistent, and how do you live and work by those
I live the trifecta. Well, it's not easy every day, but I think that's why it's great that you have three. So your consistency, your drive, and your motivation, they all actually work together, in my opinion, because if you're motivated, you'll find it easier to be consistent. Or if you're driven, then that will boost your motivation, which will make it easier for you to be consistent. But sometimes it doesn't always work that way. Sometimes you're not motivated. Sometimes it's a hard season, or you feel overwhelmed with things that are happening. This week, I'll be honest, was a tough week for me, with stuff happening in the house. But my drive kept me going. It's like a wheel. If you could turn one up and it'll keep everything going. But sometimes just having that consistency, me and Millie were talking about, we do this call every Thursday. Sometimes you wake up and it's like, I really want to just sleep in today. I don't want to get up at 11 o'clock in the morning. But because you've built this habit, you'll get up and you'll do it. And usually, I'll be honest, I get up and I talk to you. I see Nita in the chat box. Good morning, Nita. I talk to Nita. I talk to Milagros. My energy now comes up. So it kind of drags me through for the rest of the day. It keeps me energized and I get stuff done. When I lay in bed and do nothing, there's no motivation, no drive, no energy. So sometimes having that consistency as well, where you just have to do something and you just get up and you do it like clockwork, it keeps you going. And I think that a lot of people struggle with their success level because they lack any one of those three things. And a lot of times the main one is consistency. I know a lot of people who are driven and excited about what they're doing, but it's sporadic. It's here and there whenever they feel like it. And I always remembered, for me, I think back to there was a training class we did with Avon. # love all the trainings. They're so crucial to success. But years ago, somebody said you can work the business full-time, you could work it part-time, but don't work it anytime. And I thought about it, I was like, isn't it great that we work the business anytime we feel like? But what she was saying was, don't have a mindset where you're like, okay, anytime I have a free minute, then I'll work the business. You don't want to wait for your schedule to open up and give you room for your business. You need to plan your schedule. So that was something that I've come through with for years, and that's always been in the back of my mind. And I think that's really helped me in my business to create a stronger business. How about you?
I love that. And I love how you rely on one and then the other word, like if you're driven, then your your motivation level goes up. If you're motivated, then it's just the two words play hand in hand, and you rely on each. Yes, I love that. So motivation, drive, consistency, and overall consistency is key. What do you think?
Agreed, 100%. So would you say for you that's the main one out of the trifecta?
Yes, I love consistency, and you mentioned that when you're consistent with things and you're not here and there sporadic, you're basically driven, and you're also motivated because you are doing things every day like you're supposed to. You're not canceling activities. So that consistency has to do with the drive and the motivation that you have to succeed. So I think that those three words is a combination of just a beautiful formula of success.
Like sign and put those three words somewhere. When I finish my new room, I'll make something.
And you know what? I just love the possibilities that we have with our business, because it might seem like it's hard sometimes, but it only takes one opportunity. It takes one new business partner to just change your entire business. And that's the beauty of our business. Like, we might say, okay, things are not as planned, are not going as I planned. My sales have gone down, my team sales have gone down. I'm losing team members. But then, the normal thing to do is like, I quit. But guess what? Then you say, okay, I'm gonna quit. I'm not gonna do this anymore. And then all of a sudden you have this new team member that comes in and just starts taking off. Yes. Ooh,
Yeah.
taking off. And you wasted all this time that you were inactive, and now you're trying to catch up. You know what? It's not worth it. Just do your work, stay consistent, don't give up, and stick to your guns.
And I always tell people, if you give up, you won't know. Like you said, you might be at that point where you feel like nothing is working, and then that thing happens that changes everything. If you quit in that moment of frustration, you would never be around to see the amazing thing that happened. So it's so important to keep going. That's why it's important to have that consistency.
Yes, I love it. Hi, Beth. We sent you a link, so check out your messenger. I know you wanted to be on our call today, so you still have time. We're keeping it, yes, consistency and motivation. No,
Don't
don't
give
give
up.
up.
Don't
Ever,
give
ever, ever.
I always say from Toy Story, I think it was Toy Story, never give up, never surrender. No, it's not Toy Story, but it is Tim Allen. But never give up, never surrender. And that always stays in the back of my mind, along with the quote from Yoda, there is no do not try, do, something like that. But it's Yoda, so he says it
I
differently.
love
But I
it.
always keep those two things in my mind. You cannot, and even I found even my life that it's so important to have that consistency, because you never know what's going to happen. I found that a lot of times what happens for me is those moments that are darkest and hardest and the most frustrating, it's like the storm before the beautiful daybreak. It always happens as if it's to discourage me, to get me to quit, so that I don't experience that amazing thing. So a lot of times, sometimes to just even think about my past, to say, okay, you've been through rough times before and you came out on the other side. So again, just having that motivation, digging deep and finding that motivation within yourself to keep going.
And what keeps your consistency, your motivation and drive going? What's the cost? The why?
Why? But that's why we always start off with having a strong why, because if you don't have a reason to push you, then you're not going to hang on. So for me, I want to be independent. I want to have my own business. I want to be able to provide for my family. So anytime that I'm feeling discouraged, and I also don't want to have the embarrassment of telling my family that I was so determined to do this thing, because when you join, everybody tells you, oh, you'll never make money with Avon. You'll never grow your business. Nobody ever wants to buy Avon. They tell you all this stuff. And I want to be the person to prove them wrong. So I don't want to be the person who fails and to give people the opportunity to say, hey, I told you so. I mean, I'm already past that point, because I feel like I've already showed them what I can do with this business. But, and I feel like there's even more to be shown. But I think that having that strong why is what will push you forward, and it changes. My why when I started is different from what it is now, and that's okay, but
I
you need
agree.
to know for yourself.
Yes, I agree. I agree. Your why, I mean, when I started, my why was so different than it is now. I remember when I started, I just wanted to replace my full time job. And, I worked really hard to get to that. And then once I reached my goal, then I reconnected with new ones, a new why, and it all started growing and growing. So make sure that you're clear, like Georgiana talked about what she really wanted. She wants to have her own business. She wants to be independent. She wants to provide for her family. So all of that are, I consider, strong whys. So there is a difference. A strong why is something that is more emotional, where the weak why is maybe getting a pair of shoes, going on vacation, so you can see the difference in
It
those
depends on the time. Yeah, because you might join the company in order to buy that pair of shoes, right? But if you really want that pair of shoes, then okay. But if it's like, okay, well, I could live without those shoes, it's not going to drive you because you're in your mind, you're going to say, you know what? I don't really need that. Like me, like right now, I would love a PS5. And I'm like, at the end of the day, I have other expenses. As much as I would love it,
you will
I
love
can't
what?
live without it. A PS5.
Oh,
I want a PlayStation 5. I lost my PlayStation in the fire. I need a new one.
okay. Speak our language, okay? There's no PS5.
Video game. But in terms of whys, is that something that I really want? Yes, but it's not enough to drive me. That's the difference.
I love that. Yes, and material things are not bad. They actually keep you motivated as you go, but reconnect with that strong why, that emotional why. What is it that you want to do with your business? What is it that you want to become? It's not about the earnings only. It's the person that you become when you start achieving some of these goals, and you have your why so present that it will not let you stop, that it will keep you motivated, it will keep you driven, and overall consistent.
Yeah.
So when I talk about why, when I talk about consistency, I am so passionate about that. I love those topics. Yes. Yes. And we would like to also give you some tips on how to pull that out of you. And one of the things that I have found is that through personal development, through taking network marketing courses, through taking personal development courses and videos and teachings, learnings, whatever you want to call it, and also the Avon trainings. There's amazing training on Avon U. So knowing your industry, knowing how the incentive work, knowing how much money you earn when you do certain things, all that is connected to knowing the industry, your personal development, and learning about you through being consistent with your trainings, not only trainings, like I mentioned, in the industry, but also trainings to get to know you, to get to know how you can pull the real you and just become successful at what you do.
Yeah. And also look at other people. Now, this is a place where you have to be careful, but in terms of motivation, if you don't know what's possible, it makes it sometimes harder for you to even imagine or envision things that go above and beyond your existing situation. So I know when I first started, I heard the stories of other successful representative people like Milagros, who were able to retire from their day job that she didn't like. People who bought houses, people who put their kids through school. Milagros, paying to put her kid into school, who's no longer a kid, who's like my height and taller. But a grown person. Right. So, hearing those stories from people who bought motorcycles and boats and, being able to find a story that you resonate with, and being able to imagine or envision yourself doing those things, that creates a picture in your mind. We always talk about dream boards and setting your goals, but it creates a picture in your mind. Sometimes you can't really imagine the possibilities for yourself, but when you hear about somebody who you can connect with or relate to doing what you want to do, then it can help kind of bridge that gap. Or sometimes you'll hear somebody's story and you're like, I never even thought that was possible. I know for me, I thought I had one career path and I had to do that one thing. But now, being my own boss, being my own entrepreneur, I'm starting to see other opportunities and ideas branching off of things that I can do and enjoy and be happy and still contribute to my community. So, but it was hearing other people's stories, hearing the experiences of other people who went through it and came out on the other side, so that now I know that it's possible and I can picture myself doing the same things. And you'll be surprised if you can see yourself doing something, then on your day-to-day basis, you'll be able to do those things. But if the picture in your mind is, well, I'll never get out of here, I'll never be any different, you know, my parents were like this, so my family has always been like this, so I'm going to be like this. If you repeat those things to yourself, even if you're not conscious of it, but even if you don't believe outside of that, your actions again on a day-to-day basis will reflect that. So be really careful about your imagination and the inspiration that you're using. Always try to be inspired by something bigger and better than where you are. Otherwise, you'll stagnate. But the reason I also say to be careful with it is you don't want to watch other people so much that you're like, oh my gosh, they're doing that. Why can't I do this? You want to be okay, well, if they're doing that, then I can too, and I'm going to work for it, as opposed to, oh, you know, so and so again. You know, we all have those people in our feed who are like, oh, you again. Another trip, whatever. But careful, you take other people's achievements for inspiration, not as a comparison for yourself. Your road is different, and that will also help you stay motivated and keep you from being discouraged, you know, when you're seeing other people do things that you wish you could do too. Your time just hasn't come yet, but keep going, keep that consistency and the drive, and you will experience it.
I agree. And you know that behind every success, there's also things that happen. It's just that successful people do not share the bad things that happen.
Unless they're me, I will give you, that's one thing. For me, in my experience, I pull from the ups and downs in other people's life, because that's reality. The downs, the negatives, not the negatives, but the hard times are reality. And I think sometimes, especially now with social media, we see the Instagram version of everything where it's photoshopped and perfect.
The perfect life.
Right. Yeah. Everything is just like, oh, you know, I don't have any problems. But you know, in life you do. So I am unfortunately, I don't know, fortunately, unfortunately, I'll figure it out when I cross that bridge. But for me, I always latch onto the stories of when people like celebrities, you know where they are already, but I'm intrigued by the stories of how they got there. You know, being shot down. I would like J.K. Rowling, the author of Harry Potter. You know how many times people just turned her down, her stories and her books? Look at her now. If she had quit when that first person said, no, I'm not interested in this, she wouldn't be where she is now. I mean, Disney, there's a new Harry Potter thing coming out every day now.
Yeah.
Huge source of income. So if she had stopped, the whole world would have missed out on that. Einstein, you know, if you read people's stories, you hear about the stuff they went through to get to where they are. And for me, that's where it's like the icing on the cake. The cake looks gorgeous. We're talking about cake again, but it is. But if you look at a cake, the icing on the outside is gorgeous and perfect and finished. But when you cut into it, that's where like the flavor of life is. So I like to cut into the cake and see what's inside.
Yes, that is so true. And you know, all that is hand in hand with belief. If you believe in you, if you believe on what you do, and you are sure that you're going to succeed, no one can shut you down. Believe me, no family, no friends.
Consistency, motivation. It comes back to that all the time.
Yeah. That is amazing. So tell us in the chat, what do you think? I see everyone. Hi, Beth, Tracy, Xiomara. Happy Thanksgiving.
Colonel Sanders, Disney, you know, read people's stories, read the amount of times they were turned down. It'll help you in those times where you're feeling discouraged. And, you know, think about this trifecta. Which one of these things is something that you can work on in the next 30 days? Where are you struggling? Is your consistency not where it should be? Are you not feeling as motivated? I know in this season, a lot of people aren't feeling as motivated as they once were, and it's starting to reflect in their results, in your sales or in your recruiting or whatever. Or is your drive just not where it used to be? Are you laying in bed longer than you used to? We talked about this in the beginning of COVID. You know, a couple of friends and I, the first couple of days, they were just in bed, and then they were like, okay, no, we got to get up, we got to get dressed, we got to show up for work, and it changed their outcome. So which one of the three are you guys working on?
I love that. I love that. It's all connected. Everything goes hand in hand. And what's inside of you and the person that you want to become, that is going to pull you through your ups and downs. And the times where things are hard. Believe me, we all have those moments. We all do. It's not something different from Georgiana, from me, from anyone that you know.
Yeah.
So, those things, we just um, embrace them. We go through those moments and we pray really hard. We tell God to do what He can do, and what we're able to do, we do. But if we don't, we just set Him aside. There's nothing else that you can do. But don't stay in that moment. Just always pull your drive, always pull your motivation, and always do the things that are going to make you move. Because if you stay in one place, if you just let situation, life just pull you down, it's so hard to come out of that.
Yeah.
Once you lose that momentum, once you lose that motivation, believe me, something has to just kick it in. Maybe this call is going to motivate someone into doing that. Getting out of that situation. What do you think, Georgiana?
I agree. And as you were talking, I was like, that's why I love our meetings when we get together for training, because those are like catalysts for me to get my drive going or get my motivation. When I hear people's success stories, or even their stories where they triumph over a low point in their life, that motivates me. And getting together, when you talk, it gets my drive going again. So I love that we do these. We're here every Thursday, guys, sharing, ladies, guys, whatever, sharing motivation, sharing inspiration, so that we as a whole, as hashtag Team Avon, can move forward and do better in our businesses. We motivate each other, and we made this public so that we can motivate you as well. So the call that we've been doing Thursdays, it was actually something that helped bring me out of a low point, because I had a hard year last year, and I just felt like disconnected. My mind just wasn't where it was. But connecting with Milagros and other people in the Avon community who kept reaching out to me in my church, who were like, how are things going? Let's talk. If you want to talk, if you need anything. But those connections made a huge difference. So join us here on Thursday mornings, or if you can't join us live, catch the replay at least. But if you can be here live, just like typing in the comments box, getting engaged, because when you're typing, you're thinking, and it kind of brings you into the conversation. But we're here Thursdays.
Yeah.
Next week.
I feel the same way. I look forward to my Thursdays. You know why? Because that has been something that during this time when we're not able to mingle like we used to, it just built a great consistency for me at home to be able to work at home. I even started my virtual team meetings, which I was so afraid to do. I was I
You want to cook and have people come over.
Yes, I do. I'm like, what am I going to do on a screen? What am I going to talk about? But our conversations just help me to create something different that, is actually working. We're connecting with each other. And, every Wednesday we also get to share a lot of the face-to-face virtually, but ideas also. And we all have great ideas. So thank you.
We motivate each other. We do.
Yes. Goes hand in hand. Yeah. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. And we had a great topic today. What do you think, Georgiana?
I loved it. And I think it's a great topic of discussion to move us into the new year, because this is that time where it's like, oh, the holidays, I just want to go away. But this is the time where to get that motivation, because it's like a slingshot. This is that you can ride the tide from the holidays into the new year, and it'll usually pull, for me at least, the high energy at the end of the year pulls me up through January and February. Normally, and I know for years, people would talk about the slump, but I always felt like if I can stay engaged, if I can grab the motivation at the end of the year, I can slingshot through and not feel that slump January, February. So if you guys have experienced that, now is the time. It's now when you build the motivation. You don't wait for the slump to just, okay, it's here. I was expecting that.
I want to share something that I do every year at the beginning of the year. This is my calendar. So for 2020, it's a little bit beat up. I use it a lot.
How you know you're using it?
It has some character. So I write down at the beginning of the year all my goals and what I want to do. So this is how my year starts. Try it.
I love it.
Yes, I just want you to just write down anything that you want. Like, in your mind, the way that I do it, the way I set my goals, I say, um, if money was not an object, if you had all the money in the world, what would you do? And it's also, reconnecting with you spiritually and personal and with fitness, things that you want to do with yourself. Let's say that you want to lose 50 pounds. Don't think that you're not going to lose 50 pounds. That goal can be there for years and years. But if you write it down every year, 1 year when you're ready, when you make it a priority, it will happen.
Yes. It's
So,
what we were talking about earlier, having that vision and being able to picture yourself in that place where you really believe it. That's what makes the difference.
yes. So make sure you do your goals. You write down your goals. I want to see everyone.
I love that. I do it too. I'm not going to show you guys because I don't pause the screen and read my stuff. We're going to do it fast, but it's here. Okay.
I saw.
It exists, but don't read it.
One day she's gonna show me where I show you mine if you show me yours.
Well, you do see it. Like if you guys probably don't realize it, but when I have on my Facebook feed things that I shout out, like, oh, when it happens, I'll say this is something that I wanted for a long time that I never experienced. I talk about it, but on the end of it, not while I'm waiting for it.
I totally understand. You know what? Keep your goals private. I know that a lot of my goals are private too, but it doesn't matter how private they are. Just keep looking at them, read them, and at the end of the year, just do a check mark. You know what I plan to do? I'm going to start highlighting the ones that I accomplished, and the ones that I didn't, then just I'm gonna add them to the next year. So try it. I would love, love, love for all of you to share with us how are you starting your new year, how motivated you are to write down pages and pages of goals. Just don't worry about what it is. Remember this
Or what
question.
people think.
Exactly.
Worse.
That's none of your business.
Yep.
And share with us. You don't have to share your goals. You just say, okay, I wrote down 100 things that I want to do this year, or 200, or 4 pages. Just go crazy. Stay motivated. Trips, shoes, anything that you want. Weight loss,
Yeah.
longer hair.
We laugh, but legit, healthy hair, health, wellness, those are on people's lists. So if that's it for you, go for it.
Yeah.
Check out my videos. I have tips for you. Been there, gone through that.
I love that.
Janet.
Yes, great advice. Of course, I really would like for all of us to stay connected, motivated. Let's motivate each other. Share your wins. Like I love when you talk on your videos. And some days when you say, "Do you want to share some wins?" I'm like, I don't think I have a win.
But there's always something, no matter how small. You made a phone call, you labeled brochures.
Yes, and
to bring joy.
But then after I kept hearing, okay, I want everyone to share their wins. I'm like, yeah, okay, this is a win. Maybe it was insignificant for other people, but it's a win for me. It's not like I got $1 million in the bank.
But you made $1.
I made it out. I made it
Yeah.
out. I got a new customer.
That's why I like when we share in a round, because sometimes even hearing other people's wins, it inspires you to really think and to, okay, yeah, I did that, but I didn't even realize it. But here it is for someone else. That's
Yeah.
the highlight of their week. Okay, that's a win.
Yes, I love that. So yeah, I just want you to know that it took me a little time to just understand what a win was for me. But you made it so easy to just, appreciate and be thankful. Oh, this is a win. I'm so grateful. Even waking up in the morning and being enthusiastic, or, just little things that you say, okay, I recognize that this is a win. So why not talk about it? Why not? Why not?
The switch, it changes your mentality. If you can find just 3 little things every day. I got up, I opened my eyes, and I could see. Somebody said to me the other day, you don't realize how important it is to be healthy until you've been sick. And I was like,
That's
that is
powerful.
deep. But it's
That's
those
powerful.
little things that you take for granted that make a difference.
Yes, yes, and yes, check out Georgiana's videos on her channel. She really has a lot of great ideas, and when you take a training, when you connect with someone else that you can relate, because not you cannot relate to everyone. Like I cannot watch videos from someone that I cannot relate to. I just won't even. Yeah, but if you can relate to someone and you can watch their videos, and that would be the person, your mentor, someone who you watch behind the scenes, and then because you can relate to that person, and because you can relate to that person's motivation, you can create an idea sharing just by listening to what that person is sharing. So check out Georgiana. If you're here, you can relate to Georgiana, her videos. I love your product reviews. And I'm
Form
gonna
law
be
girls.
or me. I'm gonna be at your Tuesday this time because we got back, so I have good internet. Thank God. Thank God for
You
internet.
don't miss having good internet until you don't have it.
Oh, there you go. My win. I have good internet.
Yes.
So thank you so much. We
Yes.
want to get
Thank you, guys.
over it. We want to keep our calls to 30 minutes. So
But
um,
we appreciate you guys
yeah.
hanging in there with us and sharing in the comments. Love to see you guys chat. But join us here next week, Thursday. We will have more for you. And I'll be live on my channel Tuesday night. So come back, chat with us. We have plenty more ideas and wonderful things to share to help keep you motivated, driven, and consistent. We should make like a theme for 2021. That should be our.
Oh, I'm gonna write that down.
Yeah.
I love that. I don't have a pen here, but I'm gonna write it down.
I'll text it to you, and then you could just save it in your phone.
Yes. So remember, write it down on your calendar too, on your goals.
It's going in there.
Consistency and drive.
Yes.
Driven, motivated, and consistent.
Love it. I love it. Thanks,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Have a happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. Bye. Love you. Mwah.